a Pokemon card. But not just any Pokemon card. This is a Charizard card, the most famous Pokemon card of all time. But why is it so famous? Why does everyone know about it? Is it even any good? Let's find out. The Pokemon trading card game debuted in Japan in October 1996, over half a year after the original red and green versions arrived for the Game Boy. At the time, the trading card game, or TCG, was experimental, and nobody really knew if it would be popular enough to keep going after the original base set came out. However, it was clear within a very short time that the cards were hugely popular. The surprise was that they were valued more by collectors than actual trading card game players. If you collected Pokemon cards in the late 90s, you probably remember doing it just to stuff the cards in your binders, not to actually play a competitive game with them. That was the way it was for almost everyone worldwide. The first set had 102 cards in it, including an infamous amount of trainer cards. Honestly, in hindsight, I'm perfectly okay with this. After all, it was a brand new game and needed some help with non-Pokemon support cards, but that's a topic for another time. The few Pokemon there were in base set didn't number anywhere close to the total 151 Pokemon that existed at the time, and of those that received cards, the majority were reduced to stock Ken Sugimori art and primitive computer graphic art. Only a handful of Pokemon cards printed in base set included their own unique art, and Charizard was one of them. Immediately, this card became a sought-after item. It wasn't particularly rare or hard to pull. If you bought a booster box of 36 packs, you had a 3 in 4 chance of pulling the Charizard in there somewhere. And it wasn't playable either, but trust me, many players tried to make it work. Unfortunately, in those days, there were really only 1 or 2 really good decks, and they annihilated Charizard in no time flat. So what was it about Charizard that made it so sought after? What is it about this simple piece of cardboard with a shiny background that makes Pokemon fans weak in the knees to this day? Well, first of all, it's Charizard. When it was first printed, Charizard was already a fan favorite. It appeared on the cover of Pokemon Red version, it showed up in lots of commercials on TV, and it was just awesome looking. I mean, look at it! Besides that though, Pokemon promoted the Charizard card in particular quite heavily when the TCG first released, which gave it that extra boost to achieve instant recognition. I remember in 1999, right after the TCG came to America, I found a wonderful website called eBay and, curious, checked to see how much a Charizard card was worth. Back when nobody knew anything about pricing, every single card I found was listed at $100 or more. For the unlimited versions, the first editions went for over $1,000. And yes, this was back when first edition packs were still sold in stores. You could theoretically pay $3 and pull a Charizard just as easily as you can buy one off the internet. I mean, it never happened, since some people learned how to weigh packs. But the point is that this particular Charizard card was already legendary, even within a few months after it was first released. It didn't help that the, quote, Guide to Pokemon Cards magazine at the time listed Charizard as a $120 card. Yes, that's for the unlimited version. This basically meant that every kid who owned a Charizard felt like they were the best in the whole school, and don't you dare touch my Zard, yo! Anyway. Eventually, Wizards of the Coast released the Base Set 2 expansion, which reprinted a lot of cards, including Charizard. This put more copies out there for people to own, so the price of the original dropped down. Today, First Edition Charizard is still the most well-known Pokemon card of all time, and one of the most expensive. Yes, I know Pokemon Illustrator is the most expensive, but you still have way better odds of getting your hand on the legendary Base Set Charizard. Thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like down below. If you have any comments, be sure to leave a comment as well. If you wanted to know, the unlimited regular base set Charizard is now only about $30 in mint condition, but hey, it's still something. Anyway, Zippy and I do these kinds of videos all the time, so if you enjoyed this, then be sure to check out my channel. If you like what you see, then be sure to subscribe, because I'll be doing these kinds of videos for a long time to come. Anyway, that does it for this video. Thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more.